and hello once again. So this is the first talking on the camera video of 2025. So if I haven't said it already, I think I have. Happy New Year. Right, so what am I going to be talking about? You know, people talk about like gaming, you know, what games we liked, what systems we had, and etc, etc, but no one really talks about how we used to game, you know, like back in the 80s and the 90s for my case. But to me that will always be the golden game of gaming to me. 80s and the 90s. Yes, I was late to the computer revolution. It started in, I believe, 1985 for me. Well, when I bought my first computer. Well, I didn't buy the first computer. My parents bought me the Amstrad CPC 464. But the first computer that I played on was my mate's 48K ZX Spectrum. Lived down the road from me. I remember when he got it. I don't know if it was 84 or 85. But it was definitely sometime in the mid 80s when, you know, when computing became very popular. You know, it takes one to start, then someone else gets a computer, and eventually parents decided to get me a computer, you know, well, because that was the thing, you know. But did I miss not having a computer? No, I didn't. Because, that, you know, like from the early 80s to when the computing, we had other interests, you know, we had bikes, we had cars, we had Lego, we did all sorts of things. But I'm going off at a tangent because this is not what this video is all about. I've already done a nostalgia video. It's how we used to game, you know. Unlike like modern gamers, you know, they got gaming keyboards, gaming mouses, gaming monitors, gaming chairs, gaming headphones and mic, and, you know, everything they got now, you know, gaming rigs, computers, all sorts of things. Probably got gaming desks and gaming lights and whatever they can market anything gaming these days. I mean, I'd say gamers are a lot different today. They're very their gaming is so precise, you know, very precise, you know. Everything's about dots per, you know, dots, yeah, the dots per, so is it? It is, no, it's not dots, is it? It's not dots. Frame rates, you know, frames per second. Dots, where the fuck did dots come from? Frames per second. Everything's got to be so, like, I think what is the standard these days? 120 frames per second, or is it higher these days? I don't know, but, you know, to get the best out of your gaming system, you know, you got to have everything's precise. The mouse has to be, you know, the right, you know, just right. You know, keyboard's got to be just right. You've got to have that preciseness these days. Modern gaming, I just can't be dealing with all that anymore. I don't have those reflexes to be playing games like that anymore. Well, I never did to start with, to be honest with you. I don't know. But, you know, I just don't have that dedication to gaming anymore. I really don't have that dedication. I just can't be, I don't know, I'm just not interested, you know. Back in the day, you know, it's in online gaming, and online gaming is something that's never interested me. Like back in the day when I used to go down my mate's house to play on his Spectrum, you know, how was his setup? How did we used to game on it? Well, I remember it was hooked up to a portable black and white telly. Yep, black and white. To the new gamers, you're probably shocked. Black and white? What are you fucking talking about, black and white? Yep, that's what we had back in the day, you know. It was sort of like, a black and white telly was sort of like a hand-me-down, you know, or something you might take away with you, like if you go to a, I don't know, a caravan site or something, you know, something portable, you know. Yeah, so he had a black and white telly with his Spectrum hooked up to it, you know. But that's how we used to game, you know. It was either on the floor, So obviously, what did we sit on? We sat on the floor or something like that. But that's how it was, you know. Did we give a fuck? No, we didn't. We just got on with it. We just didn't care what we sat on. We just enjoyed gaming, you know. We just put up with it. Or we might have a temporary structure where you put his computer on, because back then it did take up a percentage of a room. You know, the spectrum was quite small, so you know, the telly, and then you got to have your place to put your games, and so you just had to make do. So, and when your friends come round, you know, you just either sat on the floor, sat on the bed, or a temporary chair. You know, because sometimes we always had a temporary chair. Depends how many mates you came round. You know, it was more of a social thing. You know, going around your mate's house after school or a weekend. You know, then my mate had a Vic 20, my other mate. I think he had it in his front room, so we sat on the sofa. So yeah, and he had because it was in the front room, because I think his dad used it as a business machine and things like that. Obviously done something to do with his work, you know. And he was the mate that eventually went on to get the Commodore 64. Yeah, I remember it was in the front room, hooked up to a colour telly. It wasn't a big colour, it was a portable colour telly, because that's what they had in their front room. Yeah, and showed me some game. We just sat there, you know. He had his joystick. I think the cable did reach, so majority of the Vic 20 games did require a joystick. So we just took it in turns, you know, playing games, you know. But, you know, we just sat on the sofa, and, you know, I think sometimes we did sit on the floor, depending if we needed to use the keyboard, because the computer was sort of set up in a cabinet. So, yeah. So then I got my Amstrad CPC 464, and originally that was in the front room. It was in the living room, because back then I didn't even have a bedroom. So that was set up in the front room. I remember when that came, it came with a desk. I had got the one with the colour monitor. Yeah, sorry about that. Now there's fucking fireworks going off outside. Fucking hell, what is it? I'm recording this on the 7th, and there's fireworks going on. Yeah. Okay, what else weird's going to happen this year, I wonder. Anyway, yeah, I got the CPC 464. Parents bought me back in 1985. Yeah, it come with a monitor, colour monitor. You know, they paid for it on HP. Don't know how long it took them to pay it off, but eventually they did. Yeah, I remember it came with a desk. It obviously got the computer monitor. Yeah, and what did I sit on? Just a dining chair. Yeah, it was basically a dining chair. So nothing fancy there. So didn't even have an office chair or nothing like that. A dining chair. Yeah, so mates used to come out, so I think we just used to pull out another dining chair. You know, that's how it works. Some people had to, you know, if there was at least three of us, I don't think we had enough. I think we did, but I think some was just awkward to, you know, it was awkward to get three chairs round at times, you know, because there was other things and all in the way. So someone had to stand, you know, someone had to sit down in front of the computer, you know, take it in turns, sit on the hot seat, you know, that's something we used to do. Yeah, no internet back then in the 80s. Well, even the 90s. Well, it was invented in the 90s, but I don't think anyone got it until the mid to late 90s. I didn't get it till the year 2000, so yeah. So, yeah. So basically that's how we used to game, you know. Sometimes we used to take it in turns to sit down on the seat what's in front of the computer, you know, depending on how many people there were. Then my mate, he got his Commodore 64, the one that had the Vic 20, and I remember he had it was set up in his parents' bedroom, because I don't think there was any room anywhere else. I think at that time he was sharing a bedroom with his sister, so yeah, so I think the only place where the computer can go was in the bedroom. Because also his dad used it to do work on and stuff like that. It was in the living room, now it was in the bedroom. But I remember those. I think he had it in a cupboard, and the telly was just, it was on had a portable telly, it was just in this cupboard. And I think we just sat on the floor playing games, you know. When I saw his Commodore 64, I thought, wow, this is fucking brilliant. Seeing some of the games he had on it, it was really, really good. But yeah, we just sat on the floor. we didn't give a fuck. Back then when we was kids, we just went round the house. Sometimes I used to take the joystick round, you know, because obviously you always had a case there. It was one good joystick and the crap one. But I always used to take my joystick round, you know, so because Commodore 64 had 2 joystick ports. So yeah, so we used to just use, if there was a 2-player game, we just used to game together, you know. That's how we used to game, you know. More social back then. No internet. I'm glad. I'm not one for internet gaming. Don't want to play someone I don't know. Yeah, it might be there. You can make friends like that. I don't give a fuck. I've tried it once and I fucking hated it. Because we played games for a laugh. But when you play games online, there are so many serious people. I fucking hate gaming with serious people. You know, they want to play the game, you know, properly. You know, I played a racing game. I just kept on smashing into every fucker, so, and they didn't like it. So, yeah, fuck. That's why I don't like online gaming. You know, I like to play the game for fun, but people want to play the game serious, which is fair enough. That's why I never did esports. Can you imagine me in esports? Yeah, fuck that. I'll probably piss off everyone. Yeah, I will. Yeah, so this is where a lot of you know, I suppose things evolve, you know. Of course it does. Technology does evolve. But I think the way people game is completely different to how we used to game. You know, it was more sociable, going around your mate's house after school and weekends or something like that, as well as doing other things, going out, playing on our bikes and doing other stuff like we used to do in the 80s and 90s. Well, by the 80s because I was a kid. 90s I was, well, going out getting drunk because I was an adult. But I had my Amiga then, so, and I remember that my mates, loads of my mates always used to come around to play sensible world of soccer on my Amiga 1200. And sometimes I had an Amiga 1200 and Amiga 500. I had them both set up because I had my Amiga 1200 set on my 25-inch television for a SCART because you got a much clearer picture, and I had my Amiga 500 set up on my little portable telly. And sometimes there was about six of my mates, maybe 7 of my mates used to come round, and we just used to have a game of sensible soccer. You know, obviously you can only play 2 at a time, but there you just crowd round. You know, you just find chairs just to sit anywhere. You know, it was just such a lot of fun. You know, fucking smoking away, everyone. Well, I don't smoke, never smoked, so alcohol, yes, crisps, all sorts of things, you know, food everywhere. We just fucking enjoyed it, and you know, playing sensible soccer because that was our go-to game. We had such a lot of fun playing that on the 1200, and sometimes I had the Amiga 500 set up as well because, you know, well, the main game was going on the 1200, but I had the Amiga 500 on with also sensible soccer on it, or sensible world of soccer. You know, so while 2 people are playing on the 1200, there was also a couple of people playing on the 500 as well, because I had enough joysticks. Definitely had plenty of joysticks, I remember that. Yeah, I had fucking loads of joysticks. So yeah, plenty of joysticks to go around. But we just crashed anywhere. We didn't give a fuck. You know, it didn't matter. You know, I remember I did have some nice comfy chairs. Couple of nice comfy chairs, you know, sort of like office type chairs. I've got them quite cheap, really nice and comfortable, you know. Well, my other mates were just making do with us. Well, actually, no, we did the yacht swap where, you know, actually no, we didn't, because I think the way it was set up, we just managed. We always managed. You know, we just didn't give a fuck. We just enjoyed it. We just enjoyed the experience of it. You know, I think there was Formula One Grand Prix. This is where we did do the hot swap off the seats, because obviously you have to be sitting in front of the computer to be playing that, because you either use keys or joysticks. You can, but it's better because it wasn't simultaneously. With Formula One Grand Prix, you have to. It's one at a time, but you can play multiple players, but only one person can drive the car, their own car at one time. When the computer takes over, the other person comes on, gives you a little bit of about 10-15 seconds to, you know, sit down, let the, you know, it's brilliant how it worked actually, Formula One Grand Prix. How that worked out, playing multiplayer, it was fucking brilliant. You know, when you got one computer, you could, one screen, you know, you could do the serial link, but I never did that. But the multiplayer with just one person playing at a time, it was fucking brilliant. We had a lot of fun fucking playing that. And that goes for Grand Prix 2 on the PC, because I got a PC after the Amiga. And it's pretty much the same thing, but we did the hot swap, but obviously it was more advanced. But yeah, it was similar, but we had a lot of fun playing, you know. PCs were expensive back then in the 90s, but mine was just a basic PC. Weren't nothing fancy or nothing. You know, computers were pretty much stock back in the 80s and 90s. Not a lot you can do. Obviously PCs you could do a little bit more, but if you bought an Amiga, you couldn't really do much. You could upgrade the RAM, couldn't really swap out the processors like you can do with a modern PC and the RAM. You couldn't do, all you can do is expand on the slots you got available. Commodore 64 and the Amstrad CPC, I think you can do minor upgrades, but you couldn't take the chips out and replace them like you can with a modern PC or anything like that. You couldn't do that because they're pretty much stock and all soldered like that, so you couldn't do really much. But it was fun in the days. They were fun, so, you know, it was just a great experience, the way we just gamed, you know, the way we went round our mate's house and just enjoyed. It didn't matter where we sat, we just it was just great to be playing these games around your mate's house and having my mates come round my house and just enjoying the game, you know. It didn't matter how bad the frame rate was, it didn't matter if you had a comfy chair, you know, it didn't matter. We just enjoyed it. We just enjoyed the experience of being, you know, all our mates being around, you know, playing games, having a laugh, having a good old time, having drinks, you know, fucking brilliant. As a kid as well, you know, going around your mate's house, you know, having a bowl of crisps, having, I don't know, lemonade or whatever your soft drink was back when you was a kid. You didn't care. It was just a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun, but I just tend to think modern gamers are definitely a lot more serious, you know, because it's more of an event, if anything, you know. It's more, we always had a bit of competition between friends, you know, we always did, but it was done in fun. It was fun. Yeah, we get frustrated sometimes. You know, you can tell way I do my game reviews. Yes, I do get frustrated. You know, we did back then, but I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It was just good fun. Gaming, you know, sitting on the floor. We just didn't give a fuck. It was just a great to go around your mate's house and, you know, spend a bit of time with your mates. And mates come round, you know. It was just good the way we gamed, you know. We didn't think about what we sat on. We just didn't care. It was just good fun. So, how did you game? Was it a similar experience? Are you a modern gamer? Are you like an older gamer and still game today? What are the differences for you? I mean, you know, as I was talking about the frame rates, we had some especially on the CPC, and jumpy jerkiness of but we didn't care. So one of the games that I liked on the Amiga was Test Drive 2 The Duel. I mean, that had really iffy frame rate. I mean, that was just like very jumpy jerky, but I enjoyed it, playing it. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was a good game. But it didn't bother. Could you imagine a modern gamer seeing that? I mean, they cry when their fucking frame rate's dropped. Can you imagine if they played on a fucking 8-bit or 16-bit game with dodgy frame rate? They'd fucking cry like fucks, wouldn't they? This is what you had to put up with. Yes, we fucking did. And you know what? We fucking enjoyed it. Didn't bother us, you know. Oh, fucking hell. I'm not having a go at modern gamers, you know, it's what they're used to, so I can totally understand. Can I? I don't know. Nah, but I tend, like, compared to now, I think the 80s and the 90s were I always consider them the golden days of gaming. They really was brilliant to me. And I remember when my mate bought his PlayStation round my house. I mean, I had 3 mates with PlayStations, and they always brought them around my house because I had a big telly. So they just, like, when they're off work, they used to bring their PlayStations around. Well, different intervals, different time. But yeah, just playing on the PlayStation. You know, I never owned a PlayStation, but you know, I can appreciate it. But we had some good times playing on the PlayStation. What was the one we used to play? Gran Turismo 2. They were 2 good games we used to play. You know, what we used to do is like play one player, but we used to do like you get your licenses and all that. Sometimes we did play 2 player, but yeah. But once again, we just plonked the PlayStation down, set it up to the telly, and just sat down and chilled out and played the game for fun. But I did have one mate. He took everything literally. I mean, fucking hell. We're playing Formula 1 Grand Prix. We always used to crash into each other. This is how serious. We weren't fucking serious. We just used to crash into everyone. Because this is how we played the game. We played it for fun. We didn't play it seriously. We just played it for fucking fun by crashing out everyone. And someone crashed into him, and obviously he'd win. When the computer was taking his go, and he went fucking flipped out. He flipped out. And he flipped out when he was playing Pandemonium on his PlayStation. He flipped out. Oh, he was too serious for me. Oh, fucking hell. We had a laugh at him because none of us gave a shit. You always get one mate like that, don't you? He always takes everything so literally. Oh, fucking hell. I bet he's a modern gamer. I'm only joking. Not having a go at modern gamers. So what are your experiences? Did you have a laugh? I bet you all had a laugh. Of course we did. That's why we enjoyed it. Yeah, I can look back at the 80s and 90s and say, yes, I fucking enjoyed it. You know, it didn't matter to us what we sat on. We just enjoyed playing those games no matter what. I think I'll end it here because I think I've gone on long enough. But yeah, it's good to reminisce like how we used to game. I mean, it was fucking fantastic. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, and goodbye.